I ain't gonna give in now. I think I gotta live this now. I be gonna be man, I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in their ring when I'm knocking them out when I'm back with the whip. Cause I am just off on the journey, you just know that I'm just going insane.
Warriors, rise. Hey, what's up, Warriors? I've been waiting for this interview for a very, very long time. So excited to be here with Aquire.fi. So we're going to dive into what they do and how they're navigating into this new quantum financial system. And as you guys know, I'm huge on business. So I always kind of push over to the business side in regards to what I talk about inside the Warrior Academy. So me being a business owner of 9 companies, I love to speak business. So first of all, I want to introduce 2 amazing human beings. We have Brad, the co-founder of Aquire.fi. We have Harrison, the co-founder as well. So we're going to dive into Aquire.fi. A lot of people have been asking me a ton of questions about Aquire.fi. What do they do? How are they doing it? And how are they managing to this new quantum financial system? Now, we know as an ecosystem, we're moving from this physical paradigm, industrial, people using their hands, into this quantum paradigm. Whether it's AI, blockchain technology, our world is changing as we know it. Here in America specifically, I'll speak about America, we are heading into probably one of the biggest, in my opinion only, financial collapses in history. So as we navigate into this new world, there's ways for people to get involved in ecosystems that can change the world, right? I think that's one of the biggest things that we need to look at. You know, as we go into the cryptocurrency, blockchain, I feel like it's one of those Amazon.com type moments, or think about those moments where we're moving from the industrial age, right? When you have all these automakers coming out. So there's lots of things coming out. That's why I'm excited to talk about to the co-founders about this. So first of all, I want to introduce you guys. So Brad, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll kick it over to Harrison.
Thanks, Coach, and thanks for having us. Always inspiring to hear you talk, man. Appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Holland. I'm the CMO and co-founder at Aquire.fi. I met the team here, and about last year we've been working together, and this started as a conversation. And amongst the group, if you look at the team members and the panel that we have bringing this out, you'll see that there's five players that all have like a key stake in the game and keep placed in on the team. So it's an interesting story. It's really cool. I'm really happy to bring it to you guys and be talking with you. And we'll be looking at examining what we're doing and why it's important and how it fits into JV's narrative here, and how that works about building financial freedom and new tools and platforms that are made for you guys.
That's awesome. So I want to ask you a question real quick. So where are you located? I'm so intrigued when I interview people in the quantum space. It's like, where are you located at right now? I love people who are living the freedom lifestyle, man.
Yeah, definitely. So that's been a part of my trademark Brad lifestyle for quite a while. And I have landed here in southern Nicaragua. Wow. This is my office. We hang out. This is where I get my work done. It's really easy to be productive and peaceful down here.
That's awesome, man. We'll head over to Harrison. He's locked down in the United States with me here. So Harrison, what do you got going on, man? Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Brad's house is super inspiring. It's real easy to enjoy the beauty and get the work done while you're looking at it. It's cool. Yeah. I'm here in Massachusetts, but I live on a lot of airplanes. I go around the U.S. and the world doing different conferences, trying to grow the Aquire.fi brand, and increase partnerships, buyers, sellers, and just really a lot of handshake, face-to-face stuff. But my history in crypto started in 2017 when I started using cryptocurrency, and mainly Bitcoin, as a way to get better margins on my e-commerce stores. I had a bunch of e-commerce stores, and my partner and I discovered crypto, and that was how we started. So grew that empire and sold a bunch of stores after a while. And then opened up a marketing agency to help crypto startups. So we had that for 3 years. That's where Brad came in. Awesome. My partner Jan, who's our co-founder as well. There's 5 co-founders, and that's where. So we were in that world for a while, helping out different startups, and we actually started getting questions from our founder friends in Web3, in cryptocurrency, and blockchain about hey, how can we sell our business? We want to get out, whether it's for health reasons or financial reasons or personal reasons, or I just want to take a vacation, or I want to sell my company and start something new, whatever those reasons were. And we were just trying to help, just as friends in the industry. And we really didn't have an answer for them. Like, besides our network, besides what we could, come up with. But we had an answer in Web 2. So in Web 2, there's solutions for this. There's merger and acquisition marketplaces.
Yeah.
And we looked into the problem further and discovered there's no solution in Web 3. And that's kind of where Aquire.fi was born. So being able to use the blockchain, an escrow, and different things in Web 3 to help the buying and selling of businesses. So that's the short intro of Aquire.fi and the fly overview.
That's powerful, because that's one of the biggest things that intrigue me about Aquire.fi is the fact that because that's why I keep telling people, as you move into Web3, there's so many solutions that people can come up with in order to help people move into Web3. And that is something that doesn't exist. I don't even know if something exists like Aquire.fi in the Web3 space. So that's my next question is, how did Aquire.fi come to life? Like, well, how did you guys, all these people come together with like minds, and how did it actually come to life?
Yeah, as Harrison was saying, it started from native crypto M&A alpha, and that is basically advisor level discussions, private groups, and there's a reason why it's sort of like embodied in this crypto culture, right? Some of these leaders and project people, they're not into leaving their DMs open. People, their emails are private, and if you look, the nature of cryptocurrency and projects in Web3, they have communities behind them. They have tokens behind them. So you don't want to raise any flags or send any signals. So it's very private, very, very low key information, and it's done amongst trusted parties, right? So a lot of this stuff is advisor to advisor, private group to private group. And this is like where it started developing, right? Now we come up with this entire idea from this 5-person team intersection of, a crypto unicorn builder. We have a marketplace NFT developer, DeFi protocol developer. We've got an M&A legend behind us, and we were born from a boutique growth lab in cryptocurrency, right? Incubated there. So as the story, develops and what we're bringing out, it looks like some of the ethos that you love and why you're into crypto and what it does for the world and blockchain, that's behind the Aquire.fi brand as well. So what we're looking to do is bring M&A and acquisitions out to every investor and say, this is a huge wealth building tool. We created a platform, and now you are ready to engage with any crypto on any chain and come and buy anything in traditional business or acquire a crypto company or some IP. So it's basically intersecting traditional finance, decentralized finance, and doing that through the acquisitions. So basically right now we've got deals cooking up where we have a traditional investor, some big money from Silicon Valley. They want to get into crypto, but how do they enter? How would they easily and quickly get into the crypto space? And so we're a solution there. And then you have DeFi investors who are looking for something longer term, a better deal, something that's like not as risky and gambling-ish, but something that's based on real utility, and there's like a real business plan behind it. And you can get on some of this stuff through the investment pools that we have and interact the same you would in a DeFi investment, and you're buying traditional investment vehicles that encumber properties, luxury goods, anything that you can acquire basically. And we do that through blockchain NFTs, and we're able to offer fractionalized acquisitions to retail investors and people looking to build wealth and just be on a slow, steady growth path and grow financial freedom.
That's amazing. So being like fractionalized, so that's allowing the normal everyday person to get into these types of things. Like you said, like a lot, that's what I love about the crypto space, or Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. It's democratizing a lot of this stuff, where it was just the big boys could get involved in this type of stuff, where you had to have a hedge fund or $1 million or $10 million to get involved. And so what I'm hearing you saying is you're democratizing people able to fractionalize, get in business, but you also do physical businesses as well, like in the physical, not just the quantum paradigm, not just crypto companies, correct?
Absolutely. So an acquisition could be that we pull together money and buy a profitable business. It returns fiat dividends every month. And if that's what the investors want to invest in, they can take that and use a Acquire pool and crowdfund basically the entire raise and own a fraction of it. So you can own 10% of this acquisition. When previously that was more of a play that was only available to like an accredited investor or fund. And what we're doing here is just making this exact wealth building option available to pretty much everybody.
Yep, that's amazing. That's amazing. This is what I love about this space. It's like everything is, that's what I'm trying to get out as much information to people, is because what people I think aren't understanding yet is that this is now an even playing field, where people can get involved in this type of stuff. And that's why in America specifically, why they're coming so hard with regulation, because a normal everyday person can get involved in these types of things like the ICOs, initial coin offerings, and things like that. So what is Aquire.fi's role in this new digital economy? I mean, we're switching to a brand new digital economy. Well, it's always been a digital economy, but it's moving into this more quantum blockchain. What is Aquire.fi's role within that economy?
Well, on top of like making this investing method available to all investors, right? We're really opening the doors to two new markets that can intersect. Like I was saying, the traditional investors can immediately acquire Web3 and blockchain and crypto companies easily through us. And there's a lot that goes into that, right? How do you value a crypto company? How do you perform due diligence on a crypto company or Web3 company or a tokenized ecosystem? So some of these things, it's really difficult for entry, and we're lowering that barrier to entry for all parties involved, for every level of investor, from a crypto VC that they can enter into this. The traditional VC can enter into crypto, and someone that wants to invest $500 and try and seek returns within a couple of years and has an investment plan. So in the new digital economy, when you think about it, everything's going to be on chain. That's what we believe as well. We're pioneering this M&A ecosystem, but everything should move to being on chain, and you should be able to interact with any cryptocurrency you want in the future, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. So where do you see the digital economy and crypto and blockchain companies going in the future? So like, where do you see this going in the future with all this? I mean, for example, when I was talking about this 2.5 years ago on my channel, everybody was calling me crazy. I'm like, we are heading to blockchain. So I'm an ex-banker, and I went to CBA Executive Banking School. I understand how the banking rails work. I understand the liquidity issues that banks are having. Now we have interest rate, pressure on the banks. Well, interest rates, banks are making money, but the public is starting to falter, right? So with blockchain, I see the solve with blockchain. Number one, distributed ledger technology. They can move money at the speed of light. I believe banks are going to be operating on a blockchain, and they're going to be customer service banks. Basically, they're going to be, everything's moving peer to peer, from hotels to Airbnbs, taxis to Ubers. Everything's peer to peer now. You go to a grocery store, half the places don't even have somebody checking out your groceries, and banks are going to be just service banks now. And so, in my opinion, you're going to walk into a local bank if you have one, and you're probably going to do all your banking, and it's going to be done on a blockchain with your messaging system going back and forth. So, where do you see digital economy and crypto blockchain companies going in the future?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you just said. There's all this IP and all these use cases that are available. For the future, we can talk about future use cases forever, right? But the fact is that a lot of it needs to be developed, and a lot of it needs to be and already is developed, but needs to be acquired by some companies. Like, how does a smaller bank, they don't have a development team, right? So they want to buy it, right? So that's a big portion of what we're doing, is making those available to not only banks, but other institutions and other non-crypto natives that can bring in and help acquire. And particularly right now, I mean, you see the bear market coming in. You see the downturn of Luna, where I think even just that week, Brad, we had like 5 new deals come in, just like right after the depegging of the UST and Luna. Everyone remembers that was like 3-4 weeks ago now. So direct correlation to what we're doing. A bunch of people freaking out. We need to sell our business. So we got hit up, and we got, a good amount of deal flow just in that 1 week, not to mention, the months before and then the weeks after.
Right.
What does that mean? That means deep discounts for buyers, right? Whether they're crypto natives or Web3 natives, or they're institutional natives, like we were just talking about, like that bank, for example, or that hotel chain, or whatever other use case, shopping centers that want to get into this IP. So now they can get in, especially now on deeper discounts, and just kind of the consolidation that needs to happen in the market. I think anytime there's a crazy amount of innovation and venture capital floating into a market, last year was the largest year in venture capital ever in history, as well as merger and acquisition. So $5.1 trillion were acquired globally across all niches, not just Web3, and $6 billion of that was in Web3. And also the largest year in venture. There's 1,703 venture deals in Web3. So what's that mean? A lot of new companies developing IP, and whatever percentage of those is going to fail or needs to be consolidated, right? Very good chance that 2 of those companies are doing the exact same thing.
Right.
And the market just doesn't need that. So why doesn't one buy the other and take everything and have that kind of acquisition? So you see it in any kind of boom, that there's a big influx of technology and IP, and then a consolidation phase. So I believe, and I think you do as well, Coach, that this is probably the consolidation phase right now that we're going to see after a massive year, and then kind of just the recipe is ripe right now for consolidation and bearishness. So I'm very bullish on what we're doing, and how how the timing is very right for us.
That's what I love about it. That's what we're really trying to change the mindset of normal everyday people who've been indoctrinated in the system. When everybody goes running, that's when the big money is buying, right? Like looking at companies that are pennies on the dollar right now. A lot of physical companies, a lot of mom and pop companies, or the people in the baby boomer sector trying to get out of business, going into the LBO sector, right? Leverage buyouts, the greatest time ever to buy businesses or get into businesses or help businesses grow if you have the skill set. And I think everybody goes running from these opportunities with cryptocurrency right now. Obviously, there's going to be some losers in the space, but if you pick a couple winners and you stay focused, you dollar cost average in, you have a long-term strategy with these. And that's what we're really trying to encourage people to re-indoctrinate themselves, or unindoctrinate themselves, or re-indoctrinate themselves to start to think like the big venture capitalists. And that's what the thing I'm so excited about is that the normal everyday person, if they watch the right channels and they start to understand that they can get into these opportunities. And it never was like that before. You had to be part of a certain, hedge fund, or you had to be part of a certain secret group, or you had to be part of, or know somebody to get into these groups, right? And now these opportunities to fractionalize, and like you said, somebody can advance $500, realize their gain within 2 years, and all of a sudden they're in the business space. And it starts to change, to me, the reticular activating system, and those new opportunities start to show up. That's what happened for me. I was in an old indoctrination paradigm about 4 years ago. I lost all my money again, and I'm like, oh, I grew up in poverty. No wonder. I kept repeating the same processes over and over again. So I'm like, wait a minute, let me start studying what the multimillionaires and billionaires are doing, and let me follow their processes. So I started to re-indoctrinate myself to wealth and how it works and how money flows. So, my investments can't be mixed with my retirement, secure my wealth. And I just started a very small space. Like you said, the person investing $500, and I started practicing, and then just became a little bit bigger. And then, I hit some bumps or some pumps in crypto, and I was smart enough to take some profits out and grow those. And that's what we're really working to educate people on. And I love that you're talking about this, where everybody else is running from the space and running from these opportunities when we actually should be running to them if you're working to build generational wealth for your family. So I think that's really cool. What are some hurdles you see with the ever-changing regulation landscape? We know in America, it's wild right now, and that's what's freaking people out with the media. And Gary Gensler, he said Bitcoin is now a commodity, and he didn't mention Ethereum when they mentioned Ethereum before. And it's like, everybody is just, it's like a ping pong going back and forth, and we're just staying steady with this. But with the ever-changing regulation platform, what hurdles do you guys see with Aquire.fi?
Yeah, I think hurdles are always going to be there with regulation, but we are very fortunate to have an amazing legal team backed by one of our founders, or headed by one of our founders, Marina. She's been in the space for 7 years doing different crypto things. Her list goes on and on. I can't memorize it, but I love to share it with you. So her heading that is really taking a lot of the burden off us, and just like, she tells us, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this, and we're following her lead on that. And it's, of course, we double check her work, but basically what we're doing is we're seeking different regulations across different jurisdictions, so that we're able to have a global kind of broker dealer license in order to do that, so we can service as many jurisdictions as we see the need to. So right now our legal roadmap is thus that we're seeking those, and as a part of that is basically a due diligence process that's also migrating. So a due diligence and valuation process, because this is also a new topic, right? In Web2 and in traditional M&A, it's easy to value a pizza shop. How much does a pizza shop make? What is the value of that pizza shop? There's a multiple. I'm sure you've talked about that, and all listeners know that it's a very solid thing. In Web3 and in crypto, it's a lot more. There's a lot more variables involved, especially if we get into the definance world. Then there's a whole other slew of variables. So that kind of IP and that kind of narrative and knowledge is something that we're building personally, and like a problem that we're trying to solve. Gotcha. Because how do you value a Web3 company? How do you value a decentralized company? And we have a really good team with just a whole bunch of experience, and we're all kind of slew together on these calls, and we're all arguing back and forth. Hey, no, we should do it this way, that way, that way.
Right.
And in the end, we're all frustrated, but we move the boat forward, and
Yep.
and it works. And just, we're really being led by a good team, due diligence and valuation experts.
Now, a question I had is, now Aquire.fi is the only company doing this type of mergers and acquisition in the Web3 space, right?
Correct. The only
In
one
Web3, correct.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
the only one offering these kind of pools
Yeah.
to the public.
how does it feel to be a pioneer in something like that's what I love about this, man. I'm like, it's like, this is legendary type stuff, man. That's gonna be written in history. So how does it feel to be part of something like that is changing the whole game? I mean, the first company in the M&A space in Web3. Like, how does that feel?
It's really cool. I mean, Brad can speak to it too, but I mean, we talked to a lot of investors, a lot of partners, and people that were basically trying to just bring a part to the family, and mostly the reaction is pretty much what you just said. Wow, that's really cool. I haven't thought about that.
Yep.
Like I said, I do a lot of in-person conferences and handshake stuff with different partners and potentials, and all of them are like, Web3 M&A. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, the numbers last year are this. Wow, I didn't know that. It's really a narrative that's not built in Web3, in crypto, in blockchain.
Right.
Is M&A. There have been deals in the past. It's $6 billion in deals, just over 200 last year. But there's not crowd knowledge on it. There's not a narrative built.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're building the ship as we're sailing it, for sure.
That's pretty cool, man. Brad, how does it feel to you?
Yeah, it's been one of those things where, I've been running an agency, I've served clients and built businesses. And this is one of the things I've seen, like, it really get adopted and taken off the fastest out of everything with everybody, the retail investors and our community of development, as well as the VCs. We hit our funding milestone recently where we're guaranteed that the MVP, the platform's coming out. So we started in March. We raised that in May and secured everything we need to tell everyone that we're going to be giving you guys the world's first platform. Like, it is going to happen. So that was like the first 2 months of work, and it actually advanced our schedule. So our roadmap got pushed forward faster because of the demand that we've started seeing. People wanted to know, how do we get involved? How do I get on there? We had to develop forms that night, get people signing up. If somebody else was saying, hey, how do I get involved with this deal? We're like, well, shoot, we got to get our documents in order, and, LOIs put, in place, and started pushing forward, advancing ourselves because of what was happening, the response that was coming. So a lot of this stuff so far has been pretty inspiring.
That's amazing. So
a lot of all-nighters.
What is it? A lot of what?
A lot of all-nighters, for sure.
Oh, I bet, man. This got to be a big project. So that goes right into my next question. So how does someone get involved in Aquire.fi?
Yeah, we have a great community across Telegram and Discord, and then Twitter as well. So definitely follow us on all three of those. On our website, we have a whitelist. So if you want to get involved and get involved in the pre-sale, there's some regulation involved, but definitely apply for that. I actually do a lot of the applications myself, vetting them. That's all on our website. And then, of course, registering as a buyer and a seller. If you're interested in being a buyer, even if you're just kind of interested, register, and that's all good. We'll start sending you deal flow. We'll get you hooked into the channels. And yeah, you can unsubscribe anytime you want, all that jazz. And then sellers, if you are a seller or a seller, please reach out to us on the website or on our Telegram or anything. And there is a like a little referral fee thing little referral commission thing that we have going. So definitely get involved in that. If you're like, oh, that guy I know, talk to him, get him interested, and we'll get you some referral fees too. That's
awesome. So we have a lot of people that join the channel in our academy. For example, we own 3 crypto startup companies. And so let's say we have a crypto app that's going to be launching. So I'd say, hypothetically, in the future, if I wanted to bring my company to the marketplace, are there requirements like certain time in business, things like that, or certain valuation, or what type of businesses do you guys look for?
Well, we're listing all of them. So we have everything on our deal deck right now. If we were to scroll through it, We have things that are like exchanges. We have a well-known media outlet. We can't really ditch the name right now, but a media outlet that comes with a community. So anyone looking for, you know, a large community and a lot of content add on to whatever their offering is, there's something in there for a lot of people. We've got a couple different websites, domain names, and other IP. So if you were to like span it all out, we've got deals that start from 65,000. There are small NFT kind of shops, and all the way up to like, you know, several $8 million deals for big companies and stuff like that. And I think like what we, you know, if you recommend how to first engage us, and what you can do is if you do sign up as a buyer, you will get sent all the deal flow. And as the investment pools come together, you might find something that's like really attractive to you that you might not have thought of, or you can see the value in, and check out what would be coming to you when you get involved.
That's awesome. And just for everybody listening, in the description down below, I put the Telegram, I put the website as well. And so one thing I wanted to ask you guys, where do you guys see Aquire.fi going for the future? So I'll go Brad, and then we'll go Harrison. So where do you guys see Aquire.fi going in the future?
Yeah, I'll just take it from day one, where we're at right now. So MVP is still on track, right? So the marketplace will come out. You're going to see our first products, and you're going to see all of our tiered deal flow. So you can come in, you'll have the whole DeFi access and be token holders, and be able to engage the system and see what kind of investments there are, what kind of ticket sizes you can be, you know, get in on, and other companies for sale, and watch the marketplace grow, watch the marketplace build. We have a complete roadmap that goes all the way out to Q4 of next year, which will include the full decentralization of the process, smart contract escrow, and hopefully what we're looking at doing is evolving to our own DAO fund, where we'll have additional types of investing and engagement activities there, as far as getting in on other deals and even more investments.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Harrison, where do you see the company going?
Yeah, so I mean, right now we're sitting at 40 deals. So we have 40 companies for sale for full acquisitions, and we're working on those investment pools to bring to everybody else. I see that growing. I see, you know, especially as we're heading in, as I said, in the past few weeks has been deal coming in, as well as buyers. We've had more and more buyers come to the forefront and, you know, gauge interest. So all that growth, and on the retail side, I look out for. You know, for all the community members and everything, look out for, you know, our awesome Aquire pools that we're setting up, as well as staking and liquidity rule, LP farming. There's a whole bunch of DeFi stuff going on in the background, and everyone can get involved in the staking portion of the website. And yeah, buyer seller program. We're going.
Awesome. That's awesome. I love this, man. And we'll wrap this up, but I'm just very, very honored to be here with you guys. And I want to continue these conversations as you guys grow, because I wanted people to see how important this time in history is. It's an unbelievably important time in human history. As everybody runs for the hills, I keep saying it's the greatest time in human history. Number one, to become an entrepreneur. Number two, to get involved, just like they did back in the past, right? I don't think there'll be an opportunity like this again in our living history, just in my opinion, right? And so one of the things that I really appreciate you guys about the due diligence, the type of community that you have. That's one thing that really stands out to me, the type of people that are in your Telegram group, that you can see through the types of conversations that are being had in there, right? High level people in there really talking about high level things, moving people forward. And we all know that your network is your net worth, right? So just really proud of you guys. And I want to continue these conversations. I'm excited to continue to grow with you guys in this ecosystem. And I'm actually interested in looking at that media company you have for sale. So appreciate you guys. And as we always say to all the warriors out there, warriors, rise, get your shit. Let's